Hey everyone, this is ZeroCat here. Today I'll be doing a deck tech video. I got a few requests from viewers to do some deck tech, so here I am trying it and see what happens. If you guys want me to continue doing this, please give a like to this as well as leave a comment below so I know that you guys want me to keep doing it or not. So what I'm gonna usually do is probably go through all the cards of the deck and then talk quickly about, not quickly, but talk about what's good, what I liked about it, what could change, and stuff like that. So the land base is pretty, normal in terms of two-color decks. It has the two lands, the shocks, the fast lands, as well as the, flip lands. We'll call them that. And a whole bunch of force. Then it has this new addition, thanks to Adventures in the Forgotten Realms, the man land, which is really, really strong in this deck because you can just pump it and have it really gigantic. There's the 4 copies of Stubborn Denial, which is okay. You'll get that ferocity trigger maybe like 80% of the time. Most of these creatures in this deck is pretty big. So you have Elvish Mystic, or you have Elvish Mystic and Llanowar's Mana Dorks. Pretty self-explanatory in what they attempt to do. You want to accelerate you as fast as you can with this deck. The 1 copy of Scavenging Ooze, it's alright. Barkhide Troll, it is mostly a 2-mana 3/3 with the ability to become hexproof, which I've never done with this card before. I don't know, it just doesn't work out that I have just the 1 mana to stop a spell. But yeah. And then in the other 2 mana spot, you have Werewolf Pack Leader, which I think is the best new addition to this type of deck. The ability to have it just, if you attack with 6 power, 6 or greater, you get to draw a card, which is really, really good. And I've never used the other alternate ability on this card. It's actually the only activated ability on this card. It's had to be a 5/3 trample, and it isn't a human yet. I have yet to do that. Not sure why. It just doesn't work out. Just like with Bark Archer, it doesn't work out. And then the 3 mana slot, this is the 3 mana curve. It's Ronos, the 1 copy, which is really good. Giving your creatures trample is amazing, as well as not having an indestructible thing, and having it being able to attack is pretty high in this deck as well, because of all the big mana creatures big power creatures in your deck. Next in the slot is Garruk's Harbinger, which I think is great. It's a little iffy, I think, for Pioneer right now. This deck is pretty relevant. I'll talk about it later after I go through all the cards, but when it hits, you get to look for a creature card, which is most of your deck. And it's a 4/3. Yeah. It doesn't have trample or anything, but hey, besides the point. Hexproof for black is pretty solid though. And the next slide is Old Growth Showman Song. This card is really good. 3 mana 4/4 with trample, and when it dies, you enchant a land, and you get to tap that land for 2 mana, as well as have an ability to sacrifice this land to get a 4/4. Mind you, the token comes into play tapped, I believe. Yeah, it doesn't come into play tapped, so be wary of that when you decide to use it. Steel Leaf Champion, pretty self-explanatory. This card's been out for a while. A 3 mana 5/4, and it can't be blocked by creatures with 2 or less, which pushes in damage mostly against those burn decks. Yorvo, I'm not sure about this card. It's a 1/0, which is fine with me. Most of the time it does come into battlefield. I think it's it becomes a 4/4. So it's a 3 mana 4/4, and it has the ability to grow bigger. And Collect a Company is pretty self-explanatory as well. Just to get any of your creatures to come in end of turn is phenomenal, especially when you have those turns where it's like you pay 4 mana and you have 2 creatures with 8 power. It's insane. And Primal Might is just that extra removal slash just extra damage. It's really good for pushing in that damage and killing a creature off in 1 turn, make you win the game. Let's quickly go over the sideboard. So I'll move this camera real quick so you can be able to see everything. So the 4 copies of Mystical Dispute against the controlled matchups. A Natural State, I think it's for enchantment, mostly enchantment deck, which I really haven't seen as much in Pioneer, but then there's that rise up for a little bit of that Bard deck, but that's gone away as much. Inscription of Abundance, it has a whole bunch of things, but I think the most relative thing here is gaining life as well as fighting a creature, which I think is pretty good against controlled matchups, even though having 5 mana is kind of hard to do. Scavenging Ooze against the graveyard decks and against the burn, get some life. Reclamation Change for more enchantment removal and artifact removal as well. Shifting Triceratops against control matchups, and 1 more Paramount from removal. So I want to quickly just go over my thoughts. I thinking this deck is really good for what you want it to do. I think it's one of those autopilot decks, not much in terms like if you just want to have just a good time at an FNM and just like, hey, I want to play card, turn them sideways. This is probably the deck to do, with just the ability to just control it and be able to counterspell a few spells here. I like this deck a lot. It's really fluid. See my videos. It's amazing. But the one I want to say my I mean, like, the video is okay, but like I think the deck is amazing is what I'm trying to say here. The sideboard I think is fine too. I wouldn't really change much in the sideboard, but the one card I probably would think about playing is Decisive Denial. I think that's the one card that I would 100% try to add in the deck. Decisive Denial is a 2-mana instant. It's a green and a blue, and you have the option to either fight a creature or counter target spell, non-creature spell unless the controller pays 3 mana. I think just having that card in here instead of maybe Stubborn Denial, or maybe just one less copy of Stubborn Denial, or maybe one less copy of Primal Might and put in like 2-3 copies, would definitely make this deck a lot better. And I think that's mostly it. I think most of the time when you are sideboarding out cards, the most cards I probably do sideboard out are probably the Barkhide Troll as well as Garruk Harbinger. Those are the cards I usually take out, and I usually put in something around here in the sideboard. I think Garruk's Harbinger is only crazy good against its mono black. I think against any other deck, I don't think it's that good. It doesn't have that much value for you being able to just get a creature card. I think you're better off having something, I guess, more relevant in there, in that slot instead. Yeah, so hopefully you guys like that video. And like I said, if you do want me to continue doing this, please let me know. Give me suggestions on what I think I should probably talking about. Because I didn't really know that I was going to do deck text, but you guys wanted it, so I'm giving it to you guys. But like always, same message, guys. Take care of yourself. Love one another out there. And live free and game on. And I will see you all next time, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.